And so they need to learn new technologies, they need to learn new practices, they need to learn to do new things. And, there's always going to be a learning curve, especially when you have to learn something new. And so this can help you to learn new skills, not just develop your old skills, but also learn new ones. And I discovered that when I started using this tool, it became easier for me to learn new things, new softwares. I was doing martial arts. I was an avid note taker. Like when they taught us new techniques, I wrote it down. I stopped my Sifu. I was like, hey, show me that technique again. And then he broke it down for me, and I wrote down each tool he used in the technique and how he used it. And it just helped me to learn quicker than most of my peers. So I feel like the skill journal can allow people to make that learning curve a little bit smaller, and it's really up to how you use it though. I would say that it's at the end of the day, it's just a tool, and the real influence, or the real variable, is yourself, as the person using it.
Who is this really going to help?
I feel like this is going to help those who are really passionate about developing themselves. I feel like, the people who are looking to upskill, the people who are looking to, become successful, I feel like this is going to help. The people who want to teach others, this will help. As well as the people who don't, it might motivate them to, do something more, to take that time to sit down and to really think about what they can offer to the world. And I feel like it can help those who don't have access to as much education as other people do. So, because this is something literally like, it's really a simple thing where you can give to a teenager, and they can just sit down and literally, probably take a couple hours for the first part of it and write down, something that they want to learn, or something that they know already and that they want to teach. So let's say that if you're someone who wants to start a business, I think one of the biggest hustles right now, or one of the biggest opportunities, is online education. Mm-hmm. And especially with what's happening in the world with the pandemic and everything. And online education has been growing since, 2012. And right now it's continuing to grow. It's going to grow. It's going to grow even more so now than ever, because people are forced to work from home now, and they're forced to do schooling from home. So it really forces people to take on they have to take on the responsibility of their own development more seriously than ever before.
So it sounds like education, teaching, learning is really important to you. You talk a lot about passing on knowledge, writing things down so that you can teach someone else, and so that person can teach someone else. But where do you see education in 10 years from now?
It's hard to say, but I think that as technology grows and evolves, I think that you're going to see more people become teachers. Unofficially. They might not have a BA or a MD, but I feel like you're going to see a lot more people sharing what they know online, on YouTube, on online platforms. And I think it's going to become a new thing. It's just going to become more than what we see it as right now,
Like in what way though?
So, I think that right now people are able to create their own platforms, start their own schools, and, find their own students. And I think you're going to see more of those independent schools rising up in the future. I think more people are going to take ownership of education and not leaving it up to the government to tell them, how to educate themselves. They're going to just take it upon themselves to educate themselves as well as others. So I think you're going to see a lot more professionals sharing their skills and knowledge, and that's going to be able to open up new jobs, new opportunities for many people. Because I think that we're coming to the age where, most people, they like most businesses, they don't care about the degrees anymore. I'll say that. Some people, there's a lot of businesses that do look for it, but now, like with technology being what it is, they just want to see that you have the skills. So if you can show the ability, then your value increases.
Like, can you perform? Can you do this job? Do you know what you're doing?
Right.
Because there's a lot of people with degrees without real skills.
Right.
And there's a lot of people that are graduating with bachelor's degrees, but they don't have any real, actual hands-on skills to what employers really want. And unfortunately, that's also true for a lot of master degrees. And it's kind of sad because you spend all of this money going to school and you are graduating unemployable.
The biggest shame is that the school never teaches you how to develop yourself. I think that's what school's supposed to do. They should empower us to know how to develop ourselves. And for the most part, that's not what's happening.
I think the assumption is when you go to like an institution of higher learning that you are developing yourself. Like just the act of attending the school is developing yourself. But I think what happens when you're actually in these institutions and you're going to classes, you end up taking class to get a degree. So we've talked about the skill journal, what it is, why it's important. We even kind of talked about how you ended up developing the skill journal, where we see education in the future.